The doctor's words hung in the air, heavy and cold like a death sentence. 1 year, just 12 months. It felt as though the room itself had shrunk, closing in on him with the weight of those words. Time, once a vast ocean stretching endlessly before him, was now a shrinking puddle. The days that once seemed infinite were now slipping through his fingers like grains of sand. A year to cram in a lifetime. Every moment suddenly became precious, every second a fleeting treasure. He walked out of the hospital in a daze. The city noises muted, the bustling crowds a blur. The world around him continued its relentless pace. Indifferent to his newfound reality, the world continued, oblivious to the seismic shift within him. People laughed, cars honked, life went on, but for him everything had changed. His life, once filled with mundane routines and future plans, was now sharply focused on a single terrifying deadline. The ticking clock became a haunting reminder of the time he had left. Denial was his first visitor. This couldn't be true. It felt like a cruel joke, a nightmare he couldn't wake up from. There had to be a mistake. The test, the diagnosis, it all seemed surreal and impossible. He was healthy, vibrant, full of life. How could this be happening to him? Yet the doctor's grim prognosis echoed in his ears, a constant, chilling reminder of his mortality. The words replayed over and over, each time more haunting than the last. Fear, insidious and relentless, crept in next. It invaded his thoughts, his dreams, turning every quiet moment into a battleground. Fear of the unknown, fear of suffering, fear of leaving behind all that he loved. These fears intertwined, creating a web of anxiety that was impossible to escape. It gnawed at his insides, a constant companion that whispered doubts and painted terrifying scenarios in his mind. Every glance in the mirror, every quiet moment was a reminder of the ticking clock. The initial shock began to recede, leaving behind a strange clarity. Priorities were reassessed, values re-examined. What was once important now seemed trivial, petty concerns dwarfed by the immensity of his situation. His high-powered job, the source of his stress and his pride, suddenly felt meaningless. The endless pursuit of wealth and status seemed like a fool's errand. What good was a fat bank account when time itself was running out? His spacious apartment, once a symbol of success, felt cold and empty. It was a stark reminder of his isolation, a lonely monument to a life spent chasing material possessions. He yearned for warmth, for connection, for the comfort of loved ones. The superficial relationships he had cultivated over the years, built on networking and social climbing, felt hollow and unsatisfying. He craved genuine connection, meaningful conversations, and the shared laughter that had been missing from his life. He reached out to his estranged brother, the years of silence and resentment melting away in the face of his mortality. Their reunion, though tinged with sadness, was a balm for his soul. He spent precious time with his aging parents, realizing with painful clarity how much they had aged, how finite their time together was. He listened to their stories, offered words of comfort, and cherished their presence. He sought out old friends, mending broken bridges and rekindling faded connections. There were apologies made, forgiveness offered, and a shared understanding that life was too short for grudges and regrets. He told his wife he loved her every day, his words carrying a new depth of meaning. He held her close, memorizing the feel of her hand in his, the scent of her hair, the sound of her laughter. Chasing dreams, a year of living vividly, he quit his job. The corporate ladder held no more appeal. He had a year, and he was determined to spend it living, not working. He dusted off his old guitar, the one he had abandoned for a real career, and his fingers remembered the forgotten chords. He booked a trip to Italy, a lifelong dream he had put on hold. He stood in awe before Michelangelo's David, savored the taste of authentic pasta, and watched the sunset over the Tuscan countryside. He faced his fear of heights and went skydiving, the wind screaming past his face as he plummeted towards the earth. He felt truly alive, his senses heightened, his spirits soaring. He took up painting, his canvases exploding with color and emotion. He poured his hopes, his fears, his newfound appreciation for life onto the canvas, creating a visual testament to his journey. The unfinished symphony, accepting life's imperfections. He realized that life wasn't about checking off items on a bucket list. It was about embracing the everyday moments, the ordinary miracles that often went unnoticed. A sunrise, a child's laughter, the smell of rain on pavement. These were the things that truly mattered. He learned to accept his imperfections, to forgive himself for past mistakes. He was not perfect, but he was enough. He had loved, he had lost, he had experienced the full spectrum of human emotions, and that was what made him unique. He let go of the need to control everything, to plan every detail. He embraced spontaneity, welcomed the unexpected, and found beauty in the messy, unpredictable nature of life. He made peace with his mortality. Death was not the end, but a transition, a passage into the unknown. He would face it with courage and grace, knowing that he had lived his remaining time to the fullest. Finding solace, the path to inner peace. He found solace in nature, spending hours walking in the woods, feeling the earth beneath his feet and the fresh air filling his lungs, listening to the whispers of the wind in the trees, the gentle rustling of leaves creating a symphony of peace, marveling at the intricate beauty of a spider's web, each thread glistening in the sunlight, a testament to nature's artistry. Nature's rhythms, its cycles of birth, death, and renewal, offered him a sense of perspective, reminding him of the ever-changing yet constant flow of life. He reconnected with his spirituality, finding comfort in prayer and meditation, moments of stillness that brought clarity to his mind. He sought guidance from a higher power, surrendering his fears and anxieties to something greater than himself, feeling a profound sense of relief. He discovered the power of gratitude, taking time each day to appreciate the simple gifts in his life, writing them down to remember their importance. He was grateful for his health, the ability to move freely and feel alive, his family, the love and support they provided, his friends, the joy and laughter they shared, and the opportunity to experience the world in all its wonder, each new place a chance to learn and grow. He practiced mindfulness, focusing on the present moment, letting go of past regrets and future worries, savoring the taste of his food, each bite a celebration of flavor, the warmth of the sun on his skin, a gentle reminder of life's simple pleasures, the sound of his loved ones' voices, each word a melody of connection. He learned to find joy in the ordinary, in the rhythm of daily life, to appreciate the beauty of each passing moment, finding peace in the present. A legacy of love, living on through others. As his year drew to a close, he felt a sense of peace settle over him. It was a peace that came from knowing he had lived a life full of meaning and purpose. He had made peace with his past, embraced the present, and faced his future with courage. Each photograph he looked at, each word he wrote, was a testament to the life he had lived and the memories he had created. He had lived his remaining time with intention, love, and gratitude. Every hug, every laugh, every heartfelt conversation was a precious moment he cherished deeply. He knew that his physical presence would be gone, but his spirit, his love, his legacy would live on in the hearts of those he left behind. The heirlooms he passed down were not just objects, but symbols of his enduring love and the values he held dear. He had touched their lives in countless ways, leaving an imprint that would endure long after he was gone. The stories they shared at his memorial were filled with laughter, tears, and a deep sense of gratitude for having known him. He imagined himself watching over them, a silent guardian angel offering comfort and guidance from beyond the veil. In their times of need, he would be there, a whisper of encouragement, a gentle nudge in the right direction. He would be there in the rustling leaves, the gentle breeze, the warmth of the sun on their faces, reminding them that love never truly dies. Nature itself would be his voice, a constant reminder of his presence. And so he faced his final days with a sense of serenity, knowing that he had lived a life filled with purpose, love, and meaning. His reflections brought him comfort, and his meditations brought him peace. His journey had come to an end, but his spirit would live on, a beacon of hope and inspiration for those he loved. Like a lighthouse guiding ships through the dark, his memory would guide and inspire those he left behind. Thank you. See you on the next one.